The internet has blown open the debate of what is fake and what is real in luxury. Now, for some of us, this is not new news. It's actually quite old news. Where are luxury goods made? And there is still a big chunk of people who refuse to believe that their luxury goods are not that luxurious. So I'm going to address a huge problem I have with one of my quote-unquote fake bags, replicas, dupes, whatever you want to call it. The problem with my replica bag is that she's so beautiful and everyone compliments her and loves her. So let's look up close. It is your typical flat bag, has gorgeous leather, has the chain with leather going through it, has a pocket in the back, and you open it. I love this little cushy part right here because it feels really nice. Has a zipper and a pocket inside. Look at this piece right here. It's flawless, no scratches. So it is your typical black crossbody bag that holds my phone, my wallet, sunglasses sometimes, and a lipstick, and sometimes my keys. She also feels really good to hold, and she keeps her shape. Now, the best comment I've seen is that real or fake, the bag holds money. So how can a fake bag hold real money? So to be honest, this bag gets a lot of compliments, but I also know how to dress myself and match my accessories with my outfit. So sometimes I wonder, are people complimenting the bag or they think it's some certain brand? Because after all, it's a small, cute, black quilted bag that could be fine in any brand from Tory Burch, Michael Kors, and all the luxury brands. It's a basic black bag. So other questions that could arise, but no one really asks, do they really think I spent the money? Now, I'm gonna say, as a single mom on a budget, it would be quite irresponsible if I were to spend luxury money on a luxury bag. But then I peeled back on that and thought, wait a minute, even wealthy people I know think it's kind of ridiculous.
From most people's point of view, paying that much for a bag anyways is ridiculous.
And I've talked to people in different age range, I guess social status, even though I don't think that's a thing. Different parts in their lives maybe, where they might have bought a bag in the past, but now think it's kind of ridiculous to spend that money on a bag. So whether you're a single mom working, stay at home, someone with assets in the bank, there are often better choices than spending something like $4,000 on a single fashion accessory. So I do wonder if people are complimenting me, they think I'm wearing some kind of brand or just because it looks nice. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. I do disclose with acquaintances that she's a replica. But if it's just someone walking by and happens to compliment, I just say thank you, like you would do with anything else. Your car, your pants, your shoes, whatever. Now, do I care if people recognize a brand name? No, I really don't. Now, I used to. I used to go compliment women's handbags. I love your Celine, I love your Louis. And that is not to judge them, but because my whole channel is built on handbags. I'm a handbag aficionado. I might recognize an old model from Louis Vuitton that no one else carries. In that case, it might be a topic of conversation or, girl bonding. But come on, everyone has seen one of these. There's nothing to talk about anymore. So do I care if people recognize if I'm wearing brand names? Actually, no. I used to think it mattered. I used to feel like I had to have it to feel some kind of way, to fill a void. And then I realized that the stuff does not define me. In fact, it can often draw the wrong type of attention, and it could attract the wrong type of people, whether they just want to be your friend because they're superficial, or maybe they secretly want to rob you, or be jealous of you, or take your things. In the superficial society, people judge you and want to know you based on your things, and second, how you look. Of course, it looks different than cheaper versions of the bag, but this is not a cheap dupe. It's actually a very high quality replica with very good materials. It is not vinyl. It does not smell like plastic. It is real leather. Am I embarrassed to wear it? No, absolutely not. Are you embarrassed for me? If you are, I really don't need to please you out there. So lately I've been getting so many compliments on my glowing skin. I've noticed it, I've felt it, and I'm amazed. I love it. I actually made the decision this year to wear less makeup, and it is working. So in the past, have been so obsessed with skincare products. Oh, who am I kidding? I still am. I'm so obsessed with skincare products, but not everything works. Now, one thing that does work is LED light therapy. I used to go to my friend's salon every week to get red light therapy and infrared on her huge machine, and then her salon shut down. So I was desperate to find a replacement for my LED therapy, and I looked at many brands. Many brand names of this LED light therapy mask exists, and here's the one I got. This one is by Amiro. It's a 5-in-1 LED and infrared light therapy, and all you need to do is charge this unit here, put the mask on, and it will light you up. This is so convenient because, for one, it doesn't mess up your hair, and you just leave it on for 5 minutes. So here's what the inside looks like. It has these goggles that rest right here on your eyes and don't leave a mark. And then you can see through them, so I can use this while I'm watching TV, taking a nap, even if I need to use my computer, but I prefer taking a nap. And also it has 173 LED lights, and it has 3 different modes: purify, glow, and firm, depending on what your skin needs the most. It will say right here, this is glow, this is firm, and this is purify. So I like to use the firm mode because it does have the infrared, which works deep into the layers of your skin to help restore your collagen and elastin. And that's the stuff that when it disappears, we tend to look saggy. Yeah, so that's the mode for me. Now, not just women, men. There are so many men that ask me about their skin. So yes, if you have skin, this is for you as well, especially if you're just starting to see dullness, signs of aging, or your skin's not as firm as it used to be. It happens with skin and it happens with handbags. So if you don't want to look like an old leather handbag, and if you don't want to do a whole lot with your skincare routine, LED light therapy is the thing. You can order it directly from Amiro. They've provided a coupon code, and all the links are in the description. You can read all about this wonderful LED mask below. These parts fold in, by the way, so you can travel with her too. But anyway, that's my sponsor. Now back to the video. Now, another thing I've heard is that, oh, well, you shouldn't buy a dupe or a replica. You should just buy a brand that's in the $300 range. Now, when you look at someone else's bag, does it offend you? Like, are you hurt by it? Because I'm trying to picture that scenario. Is the bag talking to you? Is it screaming at you? Or does having the truth out there just make you feel like, oh, I thought I was special and now someone else gets to be special too? So the key difference is that this bag, now I can compare because I had the real deal of this bag in the past and I decided to sell her. And I'm going to tell you one key difference. It is so obvious that I am always blown away, flabbergasted, that this bag I've worn more than the other bag, and it has no scratches here and no scratches here. A key difference is that this leather is higher quality and more durable than that other bag that I sold for $4,000. That other bag, the luxury version, was so delicate that every time I wore her just on my body, she would have rub marks here and here. She definitely had rub marks on each of the corners, which of course one would say, this is a Chanel, it is not supposed to do that. I had to be very delicate with the bag. I would put a towel down on the passenger seat before I put my bag down to ride with me in the car. But this, no problems. I can just fling it over there and she will be fine. Now, another huge difference I noticed that the brand name started to poke out at the sides here because structurally she was not strong enough. I noticed, friends, that your bag will poke out at the bottom or your wallet on a chain will poke out at the bottom the more you wear it because it will, naturally gravity will have to hold your things. But my designer label on this side, she was poking out because the structure of the bag just couldn't hold enough stuff inside, and I never overstuffed it. It was just kind of flimsy. The material of the leather, the thickness of the leather, I can feel such a difference that I prefer this. Erase the brand name, erase the price. I would choose this every single time. So the key difference is it actually looks better. It doesn't scratch. It's more durable than the real luxury brand. And I can wear this without a care in the world. So now brings up the question, if someone can make this bag exactly the same as the luxury brand, why would I pay 10 times more. What is the actual point? So I was wearing this bag, and there is one thing that women do. If we like a certain brand, we will compliment each other. So a friend of mine was wearing her wallet on a chain. It was Chanel, and she said, "Hey, twinsies." And then she also disclosed to me that she worked for Chanel at the time. And the company gave the employees their bonuses right before the sales meeting where they were allowed to purchase the product for a fraction of the price. So she had this wallet on the chain, but I really loved the J12 watch that she wore on her wrist, and she disclosed the price to me, which was about a tenth of what you would pay for the watch today. And then we discussed how it just proves the retail markup of these brands, because also, while I worked for Louis Vuitton, I was able to purchase a watch for $365, and that was a watch that Vuitton retailed for $3,650. Okay, so do you see the markup is huge? She also disclosed that she bought a canvas shopper tote for like $300 when that bag now retails for over $3,000. And she said she has her fake ones too, and she treats them just like the real deal, puts them in the dust bag, and puts them away gently in the closet when she's done using. So, is there a difference between the bags? Really? Really? Is there? Come on. And then we collectively agreed. When we were younger, we thought we had to chase these things, but now we have mortgages to pay and upgrades that we want to do on our house. And having the real deal is just not that important. Now, if you still want to chase the brands, that's all on you. Everyone has their thing. Some people like cars, some people like jewelry, some people like handbags. But do not be fooled, because Chanel as a corporation, just like Louis and Gucci, with the word luxury attached to the name. Sure, there's history in the brand, there's history in the name, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, but guess what? Coco Chanel is dead. Louis Vuitton is dead. Their families are no longer connected to these brands. These labels don't mean what they used to, and even back then, wearing these brand name labels were a sign of classism. And now I hear this word status. Like I said, what does that mean anyways? Because people think they can buy status because I bought this watch, it puts me in a higher social category. But see, that type of status is manufactured. That type of status is fake wealth. And today, actually, nobody cares because visible classism is gross. The only thing you're winning is that internet contest that makes you think you have to flex how much you spent, and you spent more than the next person. But guess what? Don't stomp your last season Prada shoes at me, because next season you're going to want something more. And we have collectively convinced ourselves that we need more and the latest and the greatest, and not just one, but a collection. It is not a flex to spend money. It is not even a flex to have money. For some of you who've even taken the comments to write in that your parents have money or your spouse has money, so you can look down at other people. Now, in my humble opinion, if you didn't work for it, it's really nothing to brag about. In fact, when you work for something, you value it more. And don't get me wrong, in fact, there are still very wealthy people who still work to maintain their wealth. Case in point, Paris Hilton. Some of you may disagree with me, but watch her documentary. It's very fascinating how she wanted to disconnect with her family's wealth and have her own. Now, you don't hear about it very much because wealth whispers. Wealth doesn't need to brag or get attention. Now, we can certainly celebrate each other's successes, but that is hardly the case anymore. We want to compare and compete. And I've heard plenty of, yeah, but that bag's gonna fall apart. Yeah, but this bag's gonna break. I suppose for people to justify their own spending habits, even from some of my closest friends who do not believe this bag exists, even though I've worn it in front of their face. And some people will just not admit the truth or mistakes. Mistakes is what makes us human, and I have made plenty of financial mistakes, and that is why I have this channel. So the problem with my replica luxury bag is that it proves that the unicorn does not exist. In fact, the unicorn that you think exists only has 3 legs. And in fact, this cheaper version of the unicorn is actually better than the real deal. And if that's a problem for you, it's not my fault. So I cannot confirm, because I have never seen the real deal in a factory in China. But the idea that things that are made in European countries are better than China has been thrown out the window and is absolutely false. And of course, the rumor is that the real stuff is made by Chinese artisans anyways, so why can't the high quality replicas be the same? Because when the shine wears off, it wears off. It's like the luxury is literally just a label, and they are all the same. One more, this is actually the first replica that I received after I published that video about rich ladies buying fake bags. And I came to find that because of the structure of this bag, that there was no need for the real deal because it's kind of inconvenient. It's this big, heavy, flat bag, and I ended up not using that much when at one point I thought this was my dream bag. But here's where she came in handy. I had a friend come over to get her hair and makeup done for her brother's wedding, and she told me that her brother is marrying into a Vietnamese family. She looked at that bag and she was like, "Is this a?" And I was like, "No, girl," but she was like, "Oh my God, are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, well, it looks like it, so take it and wear it for the day so you could, do your thing." And she was very happy, and it served its purpose, and she didn't have to drop money on the real deal. And then it came right back. So like I said, if you're mad about that, I don't know how it's hurting you. And if you think I am cheating the brand, again, Coco Chanel is dead. She's dead. She's gone. She's dead and buried. So is Louis Vuitton. So is Balenciaga. He would be rolling in his grave knowing what people are doing with his brand name right now. Lastly, that is the problem with having everything exposed, is that we realize that we have been fooled. And that's that. Well, guys, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.